get viewers jumping on. All right. It says we are now live.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
Mhm.
Um, Give me 1 second. I am now going to share this live. I think I already shared it to Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Y'all do that. I gotta give me a sitter real quick. I'll bounce back in.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. We got somebody on the live chat. Who we got? Brown Dwarf. Greetings, he says.
I just got your email just now.
Oh, it's weird. I don't know if it's my end. I know my computer is acting real slow since it updated. I don't know, because that's what took me a little while getting it going here. uh, um. All right, we got people growing on the live. The show. We got 5 viewers so far. That's cool. Welcome everybody for the kind of last minute thing here because I almost wasn't going to do it tonight. So, after I got back from the movies, I was feeling a little tired, Um, but yeah, I want to try to make this a regular Friday night thing. Um, I want to try to start going live every Friday night, doing a general Bigfoot chat and discuss a few things. And for those who are familiar with Zach's new show, tomorrow night will be episode 2 of Geek Squatch, where we talk about a little bit of everything, various topics, including Bigfoot. So, and last weekend was really fun. I think we had a really good time. I think people really enjoyed it for being a new show that we got started. So, Zach, we're gonna do that 8 o'clock tomorrow night on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time,
Okay.
every
All right.
Saturday night.
Awesome. That is awesome. Um, just a reminder too, which is we're right around the corner from January 12th, right here in Waynesboro, Virginia, and at the Waynesboro Public Library. We are having a little Winterfest Bigfoot seminar, and Mr. Michael Cook from Kentucky will be up there attending that event. Him and Miss Gwendolyn will be doing a presentation there. So if you want to come on out, meet the Paracryptid Research Studies team, come on out. It's gonna be fun, educational, all the above. Um, so yeah, Fred, you should come on out there and
Yeah. All right.
yeah. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Anytime we have a seminar, it usually goes pretty well. So and we're gonna try to have a little something to eat there. I thought about bringing a pot of chili or something, and definitely serve some coffee there too. So okay, and before I get to the live chat, because we have a couple questions on the live chat, I wanted to go across. I know Fred, you've been pretty busy out there hunting. You and Connie, you guys have been doing some squatching. I was wondering if
Mhm.
you could fill us in on what you guys have been doing and what's anything you may have been coming across lately.
Well, week and a half ago, um, I went did some squirrel hunting up in Kennedy Fields, and of course, we had that snow and all that rain come in behind it, and it's still dead. The storm damage just totally annihilated the coal roads. But I finally got to end the park at Kennedy Fields, and I went in the back. And I'd be bobbing down. I went all the way to the creek, and I said, well, instead of coming back up the trail, I went over the backside and or come over into on the front trail. I stopped, looked around, and I walked about 100 yards down the ridge headed toward the road. And um, I got hit with a wall of the smell of vanilla. Now, as you remember last year, the last couple of years, I've been saying that the smell of vanilla was they're happy to see you. Well, I've been researching on that, and what that is, it's a pheromone. It's a defense mechanism. Pheromones is what you do when you're too close. Well, I knew to my left of me, about 20, 30 yards, there was a big day bed or a bedding area. you know. And so I was saying, like, you know, the Squatches are gone, you know. I didn't know. And I started walking, and I called Connie. I started talking to her. And I went Facebook Live. Now, between where I went Facebook Live and the time I got back to the truck, a guy named Devin Jennings found 3 frames of a little 3.5 foot gray Sasquatch juvie with a black face watching me, following me. He followed me all the way down. All right, that was that Squatch. Now I could smell the vanilla all the way down to the truck. Now the other day, day before yesterday, we went up to Turkapin Ridge. I wanted to go score hunting, and she wanted to do some look for some rocks. So we go up and hit the Chevy hole. That's the one that's got a well, it used to be a big mud ball. We call it a Chevy hole. It's deep. Well, we went around there. We got around halfway to the top. When we got to the top around that first trail, and we found 2 pine trunks or limbs shoved in the ground about 12, 14 inches. And it had scarring on them, like a fingernail on them, you know. You know, we checked it, we looked at it, we figured out, you know, maybe it could have been a Squatch, you know, because we had wind damage up there, but the wind damage can't push, especially in a hard rocky area, push a tree down, a limb about that big around down in the ground about 14, 18 inches. So
yeah, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, you know, so we said, well, you know, one guy said, well, I can figure it out. Okay, let him go do it. Well, anyway, we was going across the back, and we had went across the creek, and we was on the main trail to head back toward the back into Turkapin. And I smelled vanilla again. And from the time we smelt it, we figured out there was 2 of them, 2 juvies. And they followed us all the way back to the truck. When we stopped and got in the truck, they was over in the brush about 30 feet. You could hear them. I mean, when I told Connie, I said, they're over to our right. They're about our 4 o'clock position. I said, now keep your ear on that section right there. And the whole time we walked, I was listening. And they followed us all the way back. Now that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4, possibly 5 Squatches that were passing through the area. I guess they were passing through the area. But we do know that on the left side of the trail going on it back or the back into that Turkapin, we seen a lot of structures, you know, fresh structures, fresh bends, fresh breaks, you know. And I'm figuring out we kept seeing this trail going across, but there were trails about 14 inches wide and flat as a pancake. And I know deer don't make trails that wide. They have a trail probably about that wide, you know, full of holes and stuff, you know. But that's about the only thing I've seen or heard, you know. But the vanilla smell, I figured out it was a defensive, how do you call it? Defensive move, you want to call it that. It's telling you, hey, you're too close, or you're in my area. That's the only thing. Now, everybody who has had encounters with Squatches at one time or another has smelt a rotten odor, like urine, feces, and rotten meat. All the thing I've smelled in my area and in your area one time was vanilla or the smell of peanut butter. That was it. I've never smelled rot or anything else. You know.
Well,
and I'm guessing the females are the ones who are doing it. I guess. I don't know.
Well, I wanted to back up a little bit too. I was wondering if you could enlighten us, because you mentioned the sweet. I know you mentioned this in the past about the vanilla smell,
Yeah.
and as far as it being a defense mechanism, how would that be a defense mechanism? Because the only reason I'm asking, because if you think of vanilla, that would be a sweet smell. So why would like a sweet?
Because it's unexpected. But here's the thing about it is, you know how like when you come upon a skunk, you get that nasty smell close there, out there like that, you know.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I mean, I'm taking it as like, hey, you're too close, because every time I have smelt that, I've had a rock thrown. I've had a rock thrown at me. I got a video about a month before I took you back there, and I'm standing there talking, and the rock flies from my left to my right over top of me.
I thought you was doing a live video. I didn't know you was getting on Daniel now.
I'm doing a live video right now.
Yeah, you didn't tell me that.
What's up, Connie?
Yeah, he said, "What's up, Connie?"
Hey, Daniel. Hey, Zach.
Well, you know, I'm taking it as it's a warning. There you go. It's a warning saying, "Hey, you're too close." Like usually, I'm getting bombarded by rocks, from the juveniles. But I'm thinking because every time when I first smelt it, like a week and a half ago, it was just a female and her baby, and the baby they both stayed to my left, but the baby stayed in front of me and she stayed behind me. And I smelt it, and I reckon when I come down, I must have surprised her. I don't know, but I'm taking it as a defensive mode, like, hey, you're too close or you're in my area. I don't want you here. That's that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know.
Huh. Oh, that is interesting. All right. I want to jump on the live chat real quick. And looking at the panel from left to right, I'm going to start with you, Fred. So let me scroll back here. Yeah, Pauline on the live chat was asking earlier, do you think the orbs have anything to do with Bigfoot?
Yes. Reason, I have a photograph. And I was, when you're going up the coal road stand, you get to the last gate to your left before you get to the main state gate. Back in there, we had a tree that was bent over the trail. Now, I had been back there researching for the past, year or two. And I come out one day and I walked through and I turned around and I took a picture. And I posted on Facebook, and let everybody, in the groups, nobody let everybody see, this is what, how you can tell, like you're going through a gate or a doorway or whatever, And I showed, how they had the tree bent over and how they had it sewed in there and all that stuff. Well, someone from Canada sent me the photograph back, or sent a copy of it back and said, look at that pine tree. Then about an hour later, she sent me another one, and it showed a white orb about big as a softball. She said, zoom in on it really close. So I copied it and I zoomed in.
I think I remember that photo.
There's a face of a Sasquatch inside that orb. That's close as I can get because it had a conical head, it had the face, and it had a mustache and a beard and shit, And
it's funny it's funny you mentioned that because that was another follow-up question on that. If you has there ever been a figure seen inside the orb?
Yeah. I didn't even know I caught that. I just turned around and took a picture. This was in broad daylight. That's what got me. Now, when we had Lael down here, we're sitting at the camp, and the only light we had was the fire. But right across the road, behind the other camp, on the main factor, right on the creek, going back to that guy's property, we had orbs. We had an orb. I don't know, it was probably about big as a basketball. We'd go down and go up, go sideways, and then we move left, move right. It lasted about 20 minutes, but there's a bunch of little orbs around it. Now that I can't tell you what it means. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was weird that night, But
interesting.
But that one orbit, that lady, because you got the pine tree coming down, it's right in front of it. And I zoomed in on it, and you could damn well see a face of a Sasquatch. Now, someone told me that there was the spirit of a Squatch following me. I don't know, because they're not alien, they're human hybrid. They don't turn invisible. They don't beam down like Dr. Spock on Star Trek. They don't beam anywhere like that. You don't see spaceships whenever you see a Squatch, something like that. But I can't explain it.
Tell you what, on my under all my notifications on YouTube, I've been getting, and I know you guys are probably familiar with him, Gary Johnston Sr. He has been blowing up my notifications with all kinds of information he's been sharing, and then he goes on to talk about how much of a evil demon Bigfoot is. So, I don't know. That's yeah. I had actually blocked him on one of my pages a long time ago, but he's found a way to share his input not again. So, but yeah, I don't believe Bigfoot's a demon either. But even though some may believe that, I don't know. I mean, but
Well, there's a guy that me and you know very well. He thinks they're the devil.
well, who's that?
Sasquatch Watcher, Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No comment.
same here.
All right, that's very cool. Nikki, you're the next one on the panel. I want to get your input on this here, and I know you were sharing a few some information regarding the orbs and everything on the live chat with a couple of the others on here. But so I don't know. What's your take on the orbs?
Well, I was just responding to Pauline, and I don't think that the orbs have anything to do with Bigfoot, but I do believe in them. I believe in that spirit, ghosts, that whole paranormal side. I do believe in that because I've had my own experiences with that. But I don't think it has to do with the Bigfoot. I think that's just something else that's there. So, I mean, it's going to be really hard to prove that either
Yeah,
way. But it's just my opinion. I don't think that has to do with it. Maybe they hang out around Bigfoot, and maybe Bigfoot are spiritual and that's why they hang out. I don't know. How are you going to tell that? I don't think there's any way to prove that either way. Um,
yeah,
because I can go to my video camera I have set up here in the house, and you can see orbs coming in. You can what look to be orbs, with the face and everything on them. But to me, I think it's just dust. Half the time, it's just dust particles and stuff like that. So it's real hard. Um,
yeah. Well, with that being said, according to professional photographers and even some scientists who actually looked into a lot of these orbs, a great majority of them are dust
right.
particles from something. Um,
But I've seen
that,
some that move in weird ways, and then that's something else. If it's not moving in the motion of the air or the vents or the breeze, and it's going opposite or zigzagging or turning colors, then that's something. That is an orb. To me, that's an orb, you
right.
know. But it has to be something that's not explainable. So
Hmm.
anyway, that's my theory.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Zach, what about you, buddy?
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. Whenever I took that documentary crew out from SIU here this last month and a half ago, and we got the picture of the Sasquatch on camera. It got a lot of hype and everything because of the high concentration of orbs that was right there in the picture from whenever we got the eye shine back to us. And there's a little place out there um, where we was in the vicinity of where we took that picture that we call Haunted Hill. And there's been it was back during Prohibition where a bunch of people got in a shootout, and a couple of them died in that area. And this is out there where we keep my cattle at with my granddad, and my cattle won't even go near there. That you won't even you go in that area, you won't see squirrel sign, you won't see rabbits, you won't see deer sign. Nothing goes in there. It's just very eerie. Um, but in that area that I that we call Haunted Hill, I've actually had Bigfoot encounters in that area. Of course, you see with other animals like cats and dogs, they seem to be more sensitive to the paranormal realm. And like whenever it comes to Sasquatch and everything, whether it be an animal or it be in my opinion, whether it be an animal or a relic hominid, um, they even with us humans, there's some of us out there that's very sensitive, like me and my mother are. They're very sensitive to paranormal happenings. Like Joel Askin said, he can like have a sense of whenever something. Even with Jen Cruz, she'll tell you she can sense whenever there's some kind of a good energy or a bad energy there in the area. And I believe that a Bigfoot can, if since I believe it to be an animal, I'm starting to lean more towards that side of the fence now. I believe it being a Bigfoot being a possible animal, like any other animals, it has that sixth sense whenever it can sense a good energy or bad energy. Like whenever you see somebody in the woods, like perfect example, you walk up on a doe, you don't have a gun with you, she's just going to stand there and look at you. But whenever she sees that you have a gun with you, she has that sense, like this person's got bad intentions to hurt me, I better leave. So like I believe that Sasquatch do have a sixth sense to them. Just from my observations, they have a sixth sense to the paranormal, but I don't believe that they are actually paranormal.
Interesting.
Interesting. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. You sound good, and we get to see your face this time.
Yeah, my big fat pudgy face.
For those who don't know, Kevin was our guest last weekend, and he's from Toronto. Is that correct? Am I saying that right? Toronto.
Yep, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Okay, awesome. Hey, you shared some very awesome stuff with us last weekend, and perhaps we could probably get into some of that tonight. Because I know you had some more. Because we were kind of running out of time on a few things. But, yeah, I know you've been listening to what we were discussing and everything, and cause I'm only bringing. I only shared the question, but when I try to get everybody's questions on the live chat when they ask questions. So we were talking about orbs because one lady, Pauline, was asking if do we believe if orbs are related to Bigfoot, and I know kind of how you stand on a lot of things too. You're very grounded and logical in a lot of ways. So if you wanted to share your opinion on that, please feel free.
First of all, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear you great.
Okay. No, is my voice distant or is it nice and clear, loud?
It's pretty clear. If it got quiet, I could turn you up on my end. I got a volume control.
There we go. Well, first of all, as far as my opinion, I try to understand that not everybody, has the same beliefs, has the same opinions, and while I respect other people's opinions and beliefs in regards to orbs or stuff like that. Personally, myself, I'm more of a black and white, unless I can see it or feel it. Um, you know, uh, I guess I'm beating around the bush. I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. I don't believe orbs are related to Bigfoot in any way at all. I believe in spirits. I believe in something beyond when we die, but how that ties into Bigfoot, I don't really see that there is I don't really see that there's a connection at all. That's just my opinion.
No, that's cool. That's well. So you're like me when you're trying to find. Like I know I hesitate because you want to find the proper words to explain what you're trying to put out there. One question I just randomly thought up: you as a former police officer, have you ever, in your time out in the field, to any calls or anything, seen any or ever see anything bizarre that you can't explain?
Well, let me clarify. I'm actually a former law enforcement officer. In Canada, it's a little more. Trying to think of the word. It's a little more watered down than it is in the States. In Canada, I was actually an agent and an inspector with the SPCA, which is a humane society. Same powers as a police officer, powers of arrest, carry a sidearm, stuff like that. I did that for about 2.5 years, and then I was on secondment with the Ontario Provincial Police for about 6 months, investigating very serious cruelty to animal investigations. The more serious ones rather than, dogs, cats not being fed, stuff like that. So I just wanted to clarify that. But in all my years that I've been in law enforcement, I've held various roles: probation officer, private investigator, security consultant, field investigator, stuff like that. Um, in all the years that I've been involved in the security and law enforcement field, especially my time as an inspector, when I was with the OPP, I really didn't investigate anything that was out of the ordinary, um, you know, uh, beyond what I was able to see. What I can share with you is a story that I had read by a former chief inspector of the Ontario Humane SPCA, which is basically the Humane Society. He had been involved in a case up, I believe, north of Bancroft that involved cattle mutilation. And I'll try and give it to you in a nutshell. If I get a little sidetracked, just try and keep me on track here. It's a bad habit of mine. But basically, he went to investigate a series of cattle mutilations on this one farmer's property, and the investigation, there was witness interviews. He investigated because it was such a serious matter, and they couldn't figure it out. There was in one part that I do remember, there was a blue. They mentioned that there was a blue chalk like circle on each of these cattle's bodies somewhere, and I think they said it was about the size of a tennis ball.
Oh.
So the same round, size of a tennis ball. There was a blue chalk type of a mark on the body, that the vagina of the female cows had been excised surgically, and the tongues had been removed. The side of the face where the cheek is had been cut away or cauterized. There was it was just it varied from animal to animal, but it was all there was probably about, I think, half a dozen cows over a period of time. I don't know if it was 6 months or a year. I mean, we're going back 30 years here, so I'm just trying to remember what I can about the case and reading it secondhand. But anyways, long story short, there were witnesses that were interviewed, and there were two witnesses that had witnessed a black helicopter with no lights, no markings, hovering over one of these animals, and said that they had witnessed a bolt of some sort of an electricity come from this, black helicopter with no lights or anything like that, and had zapped the cow, and over it went. And at that point, I guess the witnesses took off. I think they were farmers or hunters from the area, and they had seen this at night. This all happened at night, I should clarify. And I guess the chief inspector had done his own, investigation, knew some people on the base at CFB Trenton, which is actually where I grew up, and had asked to see the dump, the local dump at the base. And while he was there, he saw, a circle of crows or turkey vultures, as we have up here, and he went over, and he saw that there was cow tongue and other, basically, flesh and little pieces and that had been discarded, and that these animals were picking over. This was in the ensuing weeks after he started the investigation. He also managed to find out that there'd been activity on the base where there were helicopters that were, all painted black, that were unmarked, that apparently the Americans were coming up and doing maneuvers. It was all done surreptitiously, and there was no markings on the helicopters. And he was able to find out, and again, I'm just piecing together bits and pieces here from my memory, from what I remember reading of the investigation, the report. He was actually able to piece together that, and this was his opinion. So this is not, this is the evidence that he gathered. I can't remember his name because my chief inspector at the time was Chief Inspector Terry Looker. So this was his predecessor back in the 80s. He had determined and figured out that they had somehow released in the States, somewhere down near Colorado, had released some sort of a experimental substance. I don't know if it was a nerve toxin or something like that, had released it into the upper atmosphere and wanted to see if it had reached this far north. And that was how they were finding out, was they were testing the cattle, doing the tissue samples to see if that substance, I believe it was a nerve gas or a nerve agent, was released in I guess low quantities or something like that. And he had determined that, putting all the pieces together, that was what they were doing. They were doing testing to see if it had reached this far north. Subsequently, the farmer had contacted his local member of parliament and was complaining about, when he was told what was going on, he complained about the loss of his cattle, and the cost of cattle are, $2,000 to $3,000, uh, a piece, and it was actually brought up in the House of Commons by this MP, and it was very quickly, I guess, swept under the carpet, and I guess the farmer was given a check very quickly to cover his losses.
Wow.
So it was very. I'm not saying that it was done behind people's backs. It was a matter of record, but and I did see the minutes from the House of Commons here in Ottawa where this was brought up by this MP, and it was tabled, and I had found out in the report that the farmer had been compensated by the government on behalf of the U.S. government for his losses. So that's all I know about that. I don't believe it was UFOs or anything like that. I'm only going by what I read in the report, and the report is a matter of public record.
That is actually interesting because, yeah. So then, all right. So yeah, basically we have some enclosure on that incident, but you hear of cattle utilization. It's not common, but you know it's happened here in the country, and you always wonder, because people always associate that to Bigfoot,
Mm-hmm.
not Bigfoot, but aliens.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
I, I,
so
I,
it's
believe, I believe we've been visited, by aliens. Are the little green men from Mars? No. But I believe there are things that um, we as humans are completely unaware of that are going on, and I believe our governments do have a knowledge to a certain degree. To what degree, I don't know, but there's things that go on that sometimes are better kept out of the public domain, for society's protection.
right. Huh. All right. Hold on one second. I was trying to look at the live chat here.
I'm here.
Give me 1 second there, because I think people were kind of commenting in relation to what you were discussing there. Hold on, let me pull it back up. I kind of lost it there for a second. Here we go. Okay. I think some people. I thought there was something somebody said about what you were talking about.
I'm just trying to see on my screen here if I can see the live chat.
Awesome.
I'm in the Hangouts here.
All right, there we go. All right, yeah. I thought somebody said something about Uh, Pauline says pretty scary stuff, but I think we should be told more on the subject. Not sure. Or and then Austin Allen says on the subject. Not sure. I've been lied to, but I don't know. I guess that's whatever. I guess regarding aliens and stuff. I guess what people are trying to say is, the government does. We do know government. They got to keep things under wrap for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So there's things we often wonder about, and that's why we find out things. See. There was something I'm going to bring up here in a little bit, but I was going to give anybody on the live on the panel, Fred. Was there anything you wanted to add in or throw in on that we'll talk about, or have you ever heard of anything animal deaths and stuff?
Yeah, I've heard a whole. I mean, what he was saying. I've heard the exact same thing to a point in Canada and in the U.S. and it is the military doing it to a point.
Yeah, because Kevin, you mentioned that you said it was some kind of experiment or they were testing something, right?
That's what the report had said. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's what the report had said that I had read, that basically the government was doing testing, and our government was complacent in it, and that's pretty well it. I mean, it was a matter of public record, and our government quickly swept it under the carpet and paid off the farmer for his losses, and that was it.
Yeah. All right, my computer's acting a little slow. There's something. This is one of the things I wanted to pull up tonight. It was shared to me earlier. Give me a second.
I've got a pretty shitty video camera that I dug out, so it's showing my video as being very choppy.
All right, give me a second. I'm gonna try to pull this up through my phone so I can play the audio through my phone. And
I'm gonna turn off my camera here because it's really slowing my computer down.
Oh, no problem.
There we go.
All right. Well, actually, this here we may not need audio for this. So, what I'm gonna do a screenshot, and it has various photos of some of these we've seen. I'm gonna pull it up to enlarge it here shortly. This is just the start of the video.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
All right, so what I'm gonna do, I don't know if I'll play the whole video. It's 14 minutes long, but as the video says, make sure you to watch our last video before starting to watch this one. Well, it's the title says 5 impressive Bigfoot videos of all time, and this is something I wanted to play so we could all kind of get a look at, and then we could talk and share opinions on this together. So I'm gonna go ahead and push play and see what we got. All right. I'd never seen this video, so I don't know how it's going to play out. All right. Here we go. I guess it's getting ready to start. All right. Number 1, Bigfoot encounter American Fork Canyon near Tibble Fork Reservoir, Utah, USA. Well, I don't think I've seen this one. I've seen a lot of different alleged photos, but this video is. You always notice there's always a lot of shakiness in the videos.
Yeah, on this video here, look over to your left.
It's almost like people who are doing these videos instantly get Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pauline said I watched this. Yeah, this was shared to me early today. So
yeah. If you ever seen the one where the guy filmed that skunk ate in the swamp, the skunk ape stands up and the guy goes crazy. He runs.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
If that one there was real, if that guy was managing, if he was, the one you're talking about, Fred, if he was able to stay on that, that was actually fairly clear video footage. If he was to stay put.
Well, MK redid it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he stabilized it, and it was a skunk ape. Because you can see him ripping chunks of wood out of that tree.
Hunter Films Bigfoot. This, I think I know which one this. No, this ain't what I thought it was.
Ain't those two guys?
Nah, this is something different. I never seen this one before.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one before.
I don't know. Are you people seeing the people on the panel? Are you seeing this video really clear and smooth, or is it choppy?
It's kind of
they're seeing it. Yeah, the video footage is kind of the way we're seeing it is the way it's actually made. These are different video clippings, and they're seeing it on a full screen, just like as if they were watching us on the live chat. So
yeah, it's really choppy on my end.
Yeah. Well, while I'm looking at this one here, where's the conical head? Where's the conical?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Let me back it up. I'm trying to pause it and show the full, a good clear full figure of.
That's got an outfit.
I might have gone too far.
All right, right there.
See, right there, you can see the head looking totally down right there.
Yeah. So where's the conical at?
There's a darker, clear image right there.
Oh,
but you know, I don't know what the ground terrain surface is, but as far as I'm concerned, it's one thing if it was to be hunched over, but Sasquatch is usually pretty familiar with his terrain. Why would he have to be watching the ground everywhere he walks? Patty didn't. Patty was. That's one thing I like about the Patterson footage is she didn't. You know, the figure never looked on the ground. It kept its eyes looking ahead, except for that one turn where it looked back. But it knew his terrain. It knew where it was going.
Yeah, from the start till he goes out of sight, he's looking at the ground, and he's not big enough. I mean, anybody who's seen the Squatch knows that where his shoulder meets his neck is like shoulder pads to a point.
Yeah.
That right there. I mean, I'm talking about that's an adult, though, you know. But I do see a pot belly before he gets to the tree. Think about that one that Freeman footage. When it come out in front of that cedar tree, look at it. That was it. She was either pregnant or she had a hell of a pot belly on her. And it was big. But you could see the conical on her head.
Yeah, Nikki or Zach, feel free to while we're watching you share your inputs on these. I don't see nothing.
I think it's a suit. I think that one's a suit.
You notice it too.
Yeah.
There.
There's one frame. There's one frame when it's walking across. If you look near the hip area, it looks like it's a suit.
Yeah.
It looks like a suit. It looks squared. Square, you know, instead of form fitting to like skin. It's not. It's got this baggy square end on the butt.
Yeah. And like Daniel said, and everyone I've seen does not look at the ground. They run to keep their heads straight. They do not look at that ground, period.
Well, if I can interject there, one thing that I have noticed about the NVTV videos is they will take anything and everything and call it a Bigfoot. So I don't put a lot of I don't put a lot of
exactly.
They're definitely clickbait.
Yeah.
Now this one right here is
This is the
familiar
one
to
that
me.
you.
This one,
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
the
the one
one
I
that I
think Fred
seen
was talking
about
about.
2 years ago. This is the one that I believe to be a. I mean, for before you start, I mean, the thing to be ripping the bark off that tree, especially a cypress like that. Cypress
Yeah,
is hardwood.
exactly.
It's strong. You got to have some ungodly upper body strength to be able to pull all that bark off and everything. Especially you can see the hair move whenever just jerking that shit
Yep,
off the tree.
yep, yep. You can go to MK Davis's YouTube channel and find it.
Yeah, he's pretty good at stabilizing a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, Sam Squatch Rivera says new TV will post anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what's cool about this here? Some of these video footages. Hold on, what's it say? Here is where I pushed the record button by accident and the clip stopped. I was
Mhm.
honest to God scared. All
Mhm.
right. But I do want to mention real quick that yeah, they may post anything, and again, some of these video footages that we're seeing, some of these we are familiar with, some of these I've never seen before because I don't pay attention to every video footage out there, unless somebody shares something with me that I'll check it out eventually. But so yeah, we're just doing this for discussion because somebody shared this with me and I thought it'd be worth checking out. So.
Um, do you, Daniel, do you remember I mentioned the white Bigfoot video from Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Yeah, that who knows? They might show that on this clipping. I'm not sure.
I've seen
Like I
that
said, this
one.
one here, I never. Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that one. You talking about the one with the guy hits you with the flashlight?
Yeah, he hits it with the flashlight, and then the creature immediately, turns his head away and then zips away.
Yeah.
I've looked at that video nine ways from Sunday, and uh, a lot of people have labeled that as a mask or it being fake or staged, and I'm I don't know. There's just something about it that
Well, MK Davis stabilized that one too.
yeah,
That was a real squash because if you notice, the eyes were solid black,
yep,
yeah.
and
Look
you can
right
see.
there. This video right here, that almost looks like the back end of a gorilla. Just the
Yeah,
way the
yeah.
shoulders. That's actually, even though this is slightly grainy, I gotta say this here was very interesting right here.
Yeah, because I tell you what, because when MK did it, when he ripped it and it looked, it looks like he's sitting down on a stump or something digging in there. But when he stands up,
Oh,
when he stands like that right there, you could
see,
see,
and
you could see
yeah, I'm gonna
hair,
try to back that up.
muscle. You can see the hair, the muscle. Like Zach said, you could see his hair move when he moved.
Well, I want to back up a little bit here if it'll let me. I want to try to catch that. I'm gonna try to pause it right when he stands up. This should be getting ready to happen.
Look like he's sitting on something, but you can see that conical on his head. There he goes. He just stood up.
Yeah. See, this is what gets me though. Right when it stands up is when they want to zoom away. That's what. I mean, even though something about.
Well, someone said that there might have been a Judy with
enough about it.
Yeah.
It's like, why do they have to pull away? All of a sudden, they have to get into their dramatic mode and run off right when it stands up.
It's gonna kill him.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it makes you think, okay, maybe they got to get the camera off it before it shows too much detail. Hey, what if somebody is trying to pull a fast one and they got to pull away the detail? Anyone trying to debunk the video, because apparently this video footage, if we go look up the original footage of this, it's probably got tons of views. But yeah, there we go, and the camera goes off.
But
there we go. Yep, there it goes.
Yeah. But I've learned when MK Davis checks out a video, he can tell you. He'll always say, "Well, What do you think? And the way he shows it, I mean, he clears it up in details. What I like about it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've seen. Go ahead, Zach, or whoever.
I believe this particular video here, the skunk ape, I believe that is legit.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one here, I'm not. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
I was going to say there's very few videos that I see that I actually look at. I'll probably watch them half a dozen to a dozen times, and once I've made my decision, you know, I usually you know, weed out the fakes from the legit. But there's very few that I've seen that are legitimate, you know, other than blurry blobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wooly Burger on the live chat says, "Funny question, Dan. Have you ever been scared?" I say, "Yeah, I've been out in the woods numerous times. There's been a couple times I've been scared, but and nervous. I ain't gonna lie, but it doesn't stop me from going out there doing this all as much as I can." Fred, look
Yeah,
at
me
Fred.
too.
Fred gets out there almost every day or whenever he can. I've had rocks thrown at me, tree knocks real close to me. We've had vocalizations. That's the excitement of it. That's what keeps us going out there to experience more.
Yeah. Let me give you
never see me going back to the Moose River Plains.
Let me give you all an example. Me and Daniel had been across the road from the camp up in his area. You know, and we had heard some squatches mimicking a barred owl. This is right after we saw the Black Mountain Lion. And we come out of the woods and I said, "Watch this." And I screamed. And about 20 to 30 feet at our 2 o'clock position, this squatch goes, "Ah!" right back at us, like 5 seconds after I did that. That was pretty daggone intense when he did that.
Yeah.
It shocked the crap out of me. We had just come out of that spot.
Yep.
That was cool, though, man. That was cool.
Let's see what with this one here. For a split second, it almost reminded me of the Freeman footage, but then again, it was a darker setting in the background with. All right, right there, I got it paused right there. You can see the arm as it's stepping. There's an arm right there.
He's got a long arm on him.
Yeah, let me try to see if I can pause another frame. All right, there. It's pretty black looking. I will say that it's a dark.
It's got a
very
conical.
dark.
I can see the conical.
That is.
But at that distance, though, I mean, I'm not doubting that it may be real, but at that distance, I mean, it's really hard to definitively say yes it is or no it isn't. I mean, it could be a man in a suit. It could be real. I really would have.
Too bulky.
Well, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Other thing is, in this one, like the first one, he's looking at the ground. Interesting.
Now this person is walking around to try to get a better footage.
This ain't the one in Japan, is it?
Oh, I don't think so. This looks like no, this is Michigan, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Now, am I looking at this correct? This guy's going towards wherever this figure was.
Yeah, looks like it. Number one, it's a stupid move. You don't do that.
See, it makes me wonder.
All right, now freeze it. Move it a little bit. Let it play for about a second and stop it. Let it get out behind that tree. All right, stop. Now, you can look. He's looking. It's turned his head. It's looking right at the guy. But look at his left arm.
Mm-hmm.
And look at his, let's see, left or right leg.
Yeah, from the waist down, it's covered. It seems to be slightly hidden from the ferns.
Yeah.
Because like I know both me and you know, especially I know there's parts of over in your area, Fred. I know in my area, some of those ferns get a good 5 feet tall and thick in
Oh,
some areas. So it's
big
like
time.
walking through a jungle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
I wish you could zoom that in.
I know. I wish I could too, but I don't. Let me look over here. I doubt I have an option for that.
That magnifying glass.
Yeah, don't give me an option to zoom in. I could slow down the speed, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people who's never seen a squatch before doesn't realize that they got extremely long arms and they got a big hand.
Well, that goes without saying. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a teenage Sasquatch, like a 16 or 17-year-old Sasquatch?
Me?
Yeah.
I've never seen other than the one that I saw at Cascade Lakes. And
Okay.
I don't know if that was a juvenile or an adult.
Well, about 6 foot tall. Here's what they look like. You know what a young buck looks like a 2-year-old buck? He's got big pot belly, little chicken neck and chicken legs. Kind of looks all weird. Looks awkward.
Can you repeat that? A 2-year-old what?
A 2-year-old deer. Okay?
Oh, buck. Yes.
Yeah, like
yes.
a buck. You know how they're like when they're about 2 to 3 years old, they got that little chicken neck and a big pot belly and little chicken legs.
Kind of like me at 52 right now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that is what a young juvenile or teenage squatch looks like. His hands are extremely long and his feet are big and they're conical. He looks really odd. Looks funny looking.
Kind of like the Jacobs picture.
Kind of, yeah.
Fred, I'm going to back this up a little bit. Watch this.
Right.
I think this is a good shot.
All right.
Of how he. It looks like you. All right, watch this one here. In this section here, I think you might be able to see the way it shows where the leg lifts up. Like right about. Hold on, that's the arm.
Oh.
Right there. You see that?
Yeah.
Right below you.
That
you
is
see the long arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see
it right below the arm.
You can see the.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can see the conical one's head. That was a good catch.
That was interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, I see what you.
Yeah, who's that guy that had that argument with Melissa there? They were talking about the length of the arm.
Oh, you talking about Rob Gordet?
Yeah, he said they were.
Yeah, we were on a Looking for Bigfoot podcast with Shane.
Yeah.
They had a debate.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
so
when he made that move, it kind of reminded me of that. Rob Gauntlet, whatever his name is. He said maybe they put poles with like extensions to make the hand look bigger and longer.
Yeah, he had an excuse for everything. So yeah, what it was, they were it was Melissa O'Dare and Rob. They were debating the Patterson footage.
Exactly.
I remember that. That was pretty cool.
But this video here, I mean, when you slow it down and stop at certain parts, certain parts make it look like a costume, but the other half of it, it makes it look legit, like the conical head, the long arms.
I have to agree with you, Fred. This one, this one here, I don't know if it's fake. I think they did a pretty good job at it, though.
Yeah, and besides, look at the step. As you know, a Squatch takes a long step, like a 7-footer would take like a 5.5-foot step.
Yeah. Like I said, if this is fake, they did a good job at it. But again, the other thing that's in the back of my mind is, man, they spent a lot of time trying to film this. without showing any fear. I mean, apparently, maybe he or whoever filmed this maybe felt that they were at some pretty good distance. Maybe they were even armed or protected, and they felt secure. I don't know,
Mhm.
but it's definitely interesting.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do you think, Nikki, Zach?
I think it's fake.
I should have known coming from you.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty objective too, but
Uh, some of it is just too far to tell, but when it comes around the corner and that part that you selected, where the leg you can see lift, that arm
yeah,
does look a little bit long. But I mean, I've seen suits that have those long hands attached, so I don't know.
yeah,
It seems really dark. I
yeah,
don't know. It seems an unnatural dark. I mean, you've seen how black bears are, and they have that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the undercoat that when it comes through, it makes it look a little muted. But I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
I've only seen a couple of bears in the wild, so I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, and that's just comparing that to them, and I don't know. But I
Yeah.
think that one's fake.
All
Because he
right.
just kind of like did this big half circle around. And
Oh
they're
yeah.
supposed to like know where we're at and be able to tell what's going on, and it's just like oblivious to this dude following him with the camera. So I don't
Oh,
know, it
I
doesn't
know.
seem, it got too many flags for me.
Well, keep in mind, there's people that claim that you know they know certain areas where they're seen often. I mean, there's people that do claim this. So I mean,
Yeah,
maybe they're.
I know all those people with them in their backyard. I know.
Well, like what? Well, we talking about North Carolina people now?
I wasn't thinking about them. I was actually thinking about some West Coast people, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about maybe a Mr. Wilson. I don't know.
Oh, them too. Oh my God, we're all over. We've dealt with them all over, and
Oh Lord. Well, let's check this one out. See what we got going on in this one.
Yeah, this one here I've seen before, and
Ah.
I'm gonna jump right in there and say that it's fake.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm convinced this thing is fake. You just, especially the part where they zoom in, and you can see the one going from the right side of the screen or the tree to the other side. And
Yeah.
to me, that looks like, how can I put it? To me, it looks like somebody trying to walk through, dense forest, and they're off balance and they're putting their arms up to grab onto something so they don't fall down. And to me, that is not, based on the terrain and the video there. Why would a Bigfoot do that? It takes, if I seem to remember, it seems to take 2 or 3 steps between the trees. And if it were a full size Sasquatch, that would be less than half a step for them.
Do
You know?
you? Yeah. Do you remember the Stacy Brown video where him and his dad caught that squatch going from one tree to the other,
Is that the
yeah,
thermal video?
yeah.
Yeah.
and then mimic
Yeah.
the same walk?
Yep.
That's what this one reminds me of. The only difference is you're right about that because he takes 2 or 3 steps in between the two trees, and they're probably about what 6 feet apart from each other.
So apparently he
Yeah.
was behind this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It just doesn't look legit to me.
Yeah.
Just the body movement. It's not very fluid. It's like somebody's, cumbersome and they're afraid to fall down. So they're putting their arms up, so they don't, so they've got something to lean on or grab onto.
Mm-hmm.
And if that were a real Bigfoot, we all know about their behavior that they will peek from behind trees.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this.
See, he's got.
I'm
He's showing he's
guessing
got one hand out and reaching out with the other one right there. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the distance. I'm just guesstimating here, but I'm guesstimating the distance is anywhere between 30 and 40 feet away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if that was a real Bigfoot, that or Bigfoots. If there were two Sasquatches there, they know they're being filmed. If they're hiding for a reason, and they're knowing they're being filmed, or they're I shouldn't say they know they're being filmed. They know that they've been spotted. So why would one go from one tree to another? Usually they stay put and they blend, or they'll peek from behind the tree. And I don't see any kind of that
I
activity in
agree.
this video.
Well, it's like that day Daniel was with us up in my area. He was 20 feet or 20 yards. Right dead in front of him, there was a young squatch sitting right out in the open, and he videoed it and never even knew it because he sat there and was like a statue.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah. Plus, I got one with her back to me. She blended right in, but I called her.
Could I ask the opinion of the panel, the other panel members, including Daniel? Have any of you watched the Peter Kane videos?
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
No, never.
I'm, I'm not familiar with that.
Yes, you are. He's the one with the Bigfoot penis in the head, and
Oh,
his
that
daddy
goofy
put it
guy.
in the freezer, and he's the dog trainer dude.
That guy is a joke.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did
he
you see
reminds
the?
he
Did you
reminds
see?
me of Rick Dyer, the liar.
Did you ever see that video where he says, "I can make this thing juice and put some juice to it, and make it shoot a wad"?
Yeah.
He actually videoed it.
Did
I
he?
was, yeah, that was the biggest bunch of crap. I was on the floor and laughed. I said, "My God, I cannot believe this."
Uh-huh.
I had to bring that up. I had to lighten things up a bit, you know. Give him an A for effort, though.
A female Bigfoot forced me to have sex.
Does he work for the National? Does he work for the National Enquirer?
Mm.
Daniel, you're going to get demonetized showing this shit.
It's all good.
Hey, I want to ask y'all's opinion on something here. Have y'all seen the recreation or the decoloration of the Patterson Gimlin film that MK just did? He brought Patty's face back out the way it originally looked, and you can see that braid going right down through here with that piece of wood. Did y'all see that?
What was that last part you said? You could see a
No.
braid.
A braid right here. You could see her because when the MK see, well, I found out that I can't think of the guy's name, but he took and had Patty had color filtered in because she was kind of like milky up through here, and he took and colored it in. And when you see her hand go back, it looks like she's holding a rock or something in her hand.
I heard about
Those fingers were drawn in there. So what MK Davis did, he took and decolorized it to bring it back to the original, because John Green was the only one that did not send his copy of the video back. And that's why MK could redo that. And you could see her ear, you can see the split in her lip, you can see her eye, and you can see that braid she's got. It's got a piece of wood in the braid going all the way down, back and down the front of her. But
how long ago was this video done?
about a week ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull it up now. See if I can find it.
Yeah, because it's got 2 letters in it. 2 letters, yeah. One is from Bob Gimlin and some other guy, you know. The way I understand it was some guy paid Miss Patterson $10 for the rights to it, you know. Then when he got the rights, he sent out letters everywhere with the lawyer saying, all the videos I got copies, I want them back now, you know, and threatened this. And John Green says, "Hey, you ain't getting mine." So MK bought it back to the original, and what do you see? A Neanderthal.
My understanding is that the actual original Patty footage was stolen.
No, it was not stolen.
hold on.
Okay.
That it was apparently that it was stolen. It's disappeared. There was rumors that it was stolen, and that all the all the videos we see now are actually copies of the first one.
No,
No.
actually, Patterson's wife has got the original. MK's done copied it. I think about John Green copied it, and about maybe 8 other people copied it. But Mrs. Patterson has the original.
No,
Yeah.
I beg to differ. I think if you do some more checking.
Oh, I did. Believe me, I knew everything about that whole scenario, that whole situation.
Bill Munn's the one who originally did footage, did the analyzation of that. Because I know I know from watching the original documentary, he claims to have obtained the original copy from the wife, and I know at the 100th anniversary of the Patterson footage, he was featured there at that event where he did some more work with it.
Yeah,
because
because
Bill Munn's,
yeah,
I think, was the
Bill
one
Munn,
that I'm familiar with.
yeah, but it was never stolen. The only thing that was stolen is when I can't think of the guy's name. He took and paid Miss Patterson's wife $10 for the rights to that video. And the way MK explained it, because he showed the letters on and read the letters about what the guy said, and John Green did not return his part of it because he knew he didn't have to. And MK took, and like he said from the time the Patterson film come out to now, it was spoon fed to us because they took and colored her face over to this side here, and they covered the ear up, and they made her look kind of weird, But he just took and bought the original back out. That's the one with the 2 letters in it, Daniel?
I think so. That's what I'm planning. Because I watched this too.
Yeah. I got a copy of it on my timeline. I got everything from, because I've been following MK Davis about 20 years.
Yeah, if I could just interject here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to cut and paste a story to the Bigfoot chat here.
Oh yeah.
Now it's Skeptoid.
Right.
There
Now,
you go. If you look at that,
all right, now you see that right there. All right, now you go back to the beginning and you start scrolling. He made a little video with that right there, and you can see he takes it from the way it was meant to be. That people, well, see how to say it, from the way that they made the movie back to the way she originally looked, without the coloration. Because that was his last video he come out with. But as far as that goes, because you could see her, she was moving her mouth the whole time she was looking.
I'm pretty sure.
It's the video before this one, Daniel. Because he took the blue coloration out. See her mouth moving? So what was she saying while she was walking?
Probably like, son of a bitch.
If I can remember, years ago, I heard that the reason she turned is because Patterson told someone to keep an eye on her, and somebody cocked a 30-30 and she heard it, and that's when she turned. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's close as I
That
can
was
get it.
Bob Gimlin. Whenever because I was listening to Bob, whenever I actually spoke to Bob Gimlin on the phone, and he was telling me about how it happened, every single little detail. He said that uh, whenever Roger took off across the creek to stabilize himself to get the camera on Patty, he's told Bob to cover him, which meant get the rifle out, and Bob took off across the creek and he got the rifle out. And right whenever he went across the creek, that's when Patty made that quarter turn and looked back. She was looking back at Bob.
All right, because I heard that somebody cocked the 30-30 and she heard it, and that's when she turned.
No, Bob
Okay.
said whenever she turned, that's whenever he went across the creek on his horse. And that's whenever he got the rifle out of the scabbard. He did cock the rifle, but he had no intention of using it on the creature itself. He said he didn't want to kill it, but back he said whenever Roger was in really bad health and everything, he'd go see Roger. And Roger said, whenever I get better, we're going to go out and we're going to trap one of these things. And Roger ended up passing away. And but that's what I heard whenever I spoke to Bob Gimlin personally on the phone.
Thinking about that, look at all the stuff that Patterson has done did. The books he wrote on, like, from the human foot to the big giant hairy man or something like that. And the way he was, I believe if he would have survived and did go back out, I believe he would have been the only person to actually been able to trap her or catch or better video or something like that. I don't know. It's just just the way I was thinking about it.
This might be the video right here.
Let's see here.
Oh, there we go. Oops, did I pause it? Yeah, I gotta play it. There we go. I know you guys can't hear the audio, but yeah.
I have the video. I have two photographs of two guys in there. One of them has a rifle, and the other one has a white German Shepherd. Do y'all remember that one?
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
MK did that one too, and what it showed looked like to be two mud puddles. That was two puddles of blood. Because to the left of the dog were a bunch of dead squatches, or they were eradicated.
I'm trying to see if this is the footage where he does what you're talking about for.
It was right before the video we showed where he had all them faces in a box.
Yeah.
It was a video right before that one.
Yeah, I was scrolling down his page. Yeah, maybe it's not this one. Let me.
Well, I got it on my timeline.
Yeah.
Because see, he took and brought the color out the way it actually looked. There's that damn dog. Now look over to the left. Those two mud holes right there. That's blood.
What? Blood?
Yeah. MK brought these two photographs up. Well, actually, there's three of them. And the first one was shown when they were facing from the right to the left. And the guy kept pulling the dog back as he kept going through those two little puddles of blood. And MK said they were blood. It was blood.
No, I don't believe that.
Well, I hate to beg Nikki, but I have the videos.
I don't care. He wasn't there. He doesn't know.
Okay, if you say so.
It's period. He doesn't know. All he is looking at a screen just like we were.
No, I don't know.
He wasn't there. Was he there, Fred? Was he there that day? No, he was not there that day.
Okay, Miss Scientific.
Okay. That's all I'm trying to say is that I don't believe that because
Well, good.
I tend to side. I tend to side with Nikki as well.
and I don't believe in the whole massacre theory either.
The what?
The whole massacre theory, the killing of all the Sasquatch and everything. I don't believe in that either.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if that was any association, if there was some kind of massacre, yeah, like it's showing a gentleman walking around with a rifle. But if there was a massacre, whether it was killing of anything, I mean, wouldn't Bob share that information?
Heck yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. Back
That would
years ago.
be book number 10.
All right, let's put it this way. I listened to two audios or two talk shows on the radio that Gimlin was in. The first question was you holding the camera? Answer was no. On the second interview, was you holding the camera? Yes, I was holding the camera. That's two different stories from the same man. That was 20 years ago. But, you know.
So what are you saying? So Gimlin's a liar. So the whole thing is a fake. That's what you're saying?
No, I didn't say that. I just said.
Well, that's what you're implying by making that blanket statement that Gimlin's already become a liar.
Right there. Look, that's blood. It ain't no stump and it ain't no oil.
Could be a shadow.
It just looks like mud.
There's nothing. Like mud. There's nothing there to
that make is an old creek. Yes, it is. That's the old creek.
Really?
Right
so you're saying that?
And that whole place had been flooded by that great big old flood that came through and devastated that whole thing.
So you're saying all
there's
that
water
right
there.
Really? It's dry.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, whatever.
How about if we agree to disagree?
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, that's.
Because look at him, he's pulling that dog away. Why is he pulling that dog away? If it's getting a drink of water, Nikki.
You don't let your dog drink no nasty ass water.
It could be stagnant.
I would not let my dog drink out of that nasty ass water. It's got all kinds of parasites and crap in it.
But
okay, could I ask? Can we? I was wondering if we could move on to something else. There's something I wanted to bring up. Another experience that I didn't have a chance to mention last week. Another encounter, actually, probably my first. And I also wanted to ask the panel members if they have heard of the Grays Harbor thermal footage.
Yeah.
What is it again?
The Grays Harbor thermal footage.
If I see the name, I'm not recognizing, but it may have been something I've seen.
It's the Bigfoot that's kind of peering over the top of a ledge, not a ledge, but he's it only shows from the chest up, and it's just kind of sitting or standing there behind this ridge, looking at the people that are filming with the FLIR unit, and then you see the cow.
That's the one where the cow walks in front of the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, hey Kevin, give me the name of it one more time. I'm going to try to type it in to pull it up for us.
Grays Harbor, GREYS, and then Harbor, and then
wasn't Bigfoot. That the brown footage too? Brown footage? No.
No. This one here is in thermo, and it shows I don't know. I guess the Squatch is like 45.
No, but I thought it was on a guy that was his last name is Brown's. His land. It was in his land.
I'm seeing two. It's actually.
Well,
it's the one, Daniel. Daniel, it's the one where I say it's the two cows that make it look like it's kind of in the shape.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
Because the guy's supposed to be in the
now
field looking in the woods, and it looked like a squatch, like he's
Yeah.
up his waist. He's sitting there like this here, you know, and the cow
Yeah.
walks right by.
Right. Yeah.
Daniel,
That one.
did you bring it up? I've got it on my screen. Breakdown the Grays Harbor thermal footage. Pair of breakdowns.
yeah,
of
I'm about to
the,
put up for it.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah,
the
give
best
me
one.
1 second. All right, I got it presented now. I got to go back to play it. Hold on.
Because I've heard it was a squatch. I've heard it was a couple cows laying down or one cow laying down. You know, because why would it, if there's a squatch laying over like that, why would a cow walk by?
Well, it wasn't laying down. It was standing behind this ridge, and the cow is walking halfway between where the Bigfoot is and where the filmer is.
Yeah,
Yeah, but there was a bunch of cows there. It wasn't just one
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to me, it looks like there's some cows sitting back there too, at least. One facing towards the camera, one facing the other way.
Yeah, I believe this is legitimate footage because they went back in the daytime. They did a comparison. They did the whole breakdown. Yeah, it was.
Did you ever?
Yeah, I saw that comparison too. It did not convince me at all.
Okay.
Now they did. There's another video footage where they used the same footage right here. They did a breakdown, or enhancement to it. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah, I think that's the one where I see the undulation of a neck. That's what made me believe that it was a cow chewing.
Yeah. Nikki, remember the thermo footage that Paul Halsey took behind his truck at night?
Yes, I do.
Now that is the best. That's what
believe that one is true.
Yeah,
that one I believe is true.
Yeah, because Paul went back the next day, and that squatch was down like in a little ravine, and the squatch.
That one, but it looks real. That
it
one
was
to me,
real. It was
I know,
real.
but
But
there was no flags on that. For me, there weren't any flags.
Because
what video was that?
It's a friend of ours who's a squatcher.
Yeah,
he used to go by Bama Bigfoot. Bama Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's from out of Alabama.
Is the video on YouTube?
It was.
It used to be, but he's
kind of stopped.
Here's what kind of makes it real. When he's with two other guys. Paul and Maximus Deaconus guy got together and started making a mobile thermo camera and recorder. Well, Paul had one. The guy out of the truck at nighttime in a parking lot right next to a lake. And he turned around and he started videoing in thermo, and that squatch was back behind the truck by about 8 or 10 feet, watching Paul and the other guy. First thing Paul said was, "Hey guys, where y'all at?" And they said, "We're on the driver's side of the truck." Paul didn't say nothing until the next day. That is what got him to contract with the Thermo Fleur company. Mm-hmm. That video, they saw that video right there, a Thermo video, and now he's got a contract with Thermo to represent them. That is one of the best footages I've seen.
One of the thing is that like we know Paul, we know his character, which a lot of people, when you're looking at people's videos, you don't know the character of the people, but I think even Fred and Daniel and I would know just from talking with him and knowing him, and always
well, he came to Kentucky.
He seems very honest. Okay, to me, he's a no crap kind of guy, and
because he came to Kentucky up there to me and Connie's area. Now here it comes. There's the cow. Oh, where'd that come from?
You can see that cow in there. But the Bigfoot in the background there, the thermal part of it from the chest up, to me, that there's no way that could be a cow.
No, because look at the head. You could tell it's a head right there.
A cow
head?
Right
here, they're just doing a comparison.
Yeah.
Are you saying that's a cow head?
No, I'm talking about the picture right. No, not that one. not the thermal camera.
I think they're showing what was used.
You had the first you had a cows I was in the thermo, then you had a grizzly bear right over to the left of the Squatch itself. You could actually see the head of that Squatch.
Mm-hmm.
Now I never noticed that, but see, yeah, you can see it's got a head. You can see the shadow underneath its chin.
You can also see the conical ridge line of the top of the head too, going from front to back.
Now to the far left, to the left of it, I think that was showing a cow.
It is a cow. All right, that's the area during the day. That is a little knoll right there, isn't it? Right across from there.
It's showing somebody, kind of sitting low over there. There he is, right there.
He ain't nowhere near the size of that thing you videoed.
Now, what's he showing over here? Oh, I guess this is where it may have been.
That's the first time I've seen the daytime thing.
This is showing. It says the big guy, comparative subject out of focus, and it's showing comparative subject thermal focus.
Now, this is the first time I've seen this part right here.
This is a breakdown.
Yeah. Now you could look the guy, the middle. Look right up underneath his neck and shoulders. See the shadow and his chest. Now look at the Squatch. You can see his shoulders. You can see his chest, and you can see his face. Where there's no hair is where the heat signature is coming through. But why is there a cow standing behind that tree right there to the left of it?
Well, somebody in the live chat said maybe he was probably trying to snatch a cow for dinner. Maybe he wanted hamburger or steak. Now these two from the center and to the far right, these I think are used were these are people they use for comparison with the thermal. Yeah.
Because I've seen the original video, but this is the first time I've seen the comparison video, the footage. Never seen that before.
Yeah. Tell you what, I have to say it is very interesting though.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me back up. I might have missed some.
You got 7 foot tall there. Is that how tall it was?
Okay.
What happened, Daniel? Sound like you're. Oh no.
Hold on.
Yeah,
it's probably. There we go. I hope this stopped it.
Yeah. Now he's got a pole here up to 7 foot. Is that how tall it was?
That's where I don't know. That's a good question.
Because that's the first I've seen that. Unless he's saying where that. Oh wait a minute, he is down on that knoll. He's probably showing where the head of the Squatch was. Okay, all right, I'll see what it's doing now. Yeah. Okay, he said from where he's standing, from where that Squatch was at, up to his head was about 7 foot. Geez. He had to be a big boy. That guy's about what? 5.5 foot tall.
No, there's a person there, and you can see that the head of that person is kind of low.
Yeah. Never seen these before.
I'd say that guy's about 5'10", 5'11" in the red jacket there.
Yeah, what they do, they made this transparent where you can still see the person in the background.
Yeah.
And they overshadowed it with the thermal footage. Which I guess I see what they're trying to do here.
The guy was thorough about it. I can say that. That's what I can say. He checked on it, or after he videoed it, he come back the next day, and he went through the whole process to show what they saw and the height of it too. So that's pretty interesting. I never seen that.
Yeah, because well, the other thing that's interesting too, because Para Breakdown is actually this is Para Breakdown video. I wonder if he was able to contact the whoever filmed this and got some information sent to him.
Mhm.
What do you think, Nikki? What's your take?
Now Pair Breakdown did contact that guy.
He did, okay,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I
and
remember.
apparently they've been doing because they to show the height comparison with the measurement.
Right.
It must have been where he got that from.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here. I got to hit the woods before daylight tomorrow. Give me some Yodes.
All right.
Got to make some money. Yeah, man.
Well, that was very interesting. Give me a second. Let me come back to
And
the main screen.
the guy from Canada, what's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin. I'm Freddie 59100 or Fred Caney, Virginia Mountain Bigfoot Research Organization. I'm glad to meet you.
Glad to make your acquaintance as well. Have a good night.
You too, man.
Awesome.
Daniel, I'll if I get anything tomorrow, I'll send you pictures.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
Right,
Yeah, it is getting a little late.
Bye.
I do want to come to a close, but before I do that, Zach, because he jumped off earlier, he said he had a headache that was killing him, and it was just getting worse.
yeah.
And I am going to plug something in. He reminded me. Tomorrow night, Saturday, the 22nd, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going with episode 2. It's called Geek Squatch. It will be on the Southern Illinois Monster Hunters YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed to Southern Illinois Monster Hunters YouTube channel, go ahead and check that out. Subscribe. That way, when we go live, you'll get the notification. Because we do talk about Bigfoot. We get into some other topics. It's something new that we started. It's something we like to have fun with. So definitely check that out. So we'll be live with Zach on his YouTube channel. And he also wanted me to remind everybody the Southern Illinois Bigfoot Conference coming up July 27th in 2019. And don't forget about the ECBRO Virginia Bigfoot 2019, our second annual event happening, June 29th and June 30th. And let me back up a little bit more. We got January 12th right here in Waynesboro, Virginia at the Waynesboro Public Library from 1 to 4. We'll have our little Winterfest Bigfoot seminar. And love to have you out there. Come on, attend. Be among other fellow people who may have stories to tell and share as we'll be giving presentations as well. If you're a non-believer or skeptic, we even love you more. So come on out. It's going to be great. And if you have not done so, if you're new to this YouTube channel, listening in, tuning in, please subscribe, share this video around, share the YouTube channel around, and let's get the more audience, more viewers we have when we go live every Friday night. It's much appreciated and a lot of fun with the interaction. So lately, I do want to apologize. There hasn't been no new field videos lately. I have not been getting out in the field lately. Just been trying to work my way around these holidays financially and everything else in between. So, but there'll be a time I'll get out there in the field. So,
Daniel, if I could just ask, when is the Bigfoot conference that you're putting on?
That is June 29th. And let me add too, for anyone wanting information on that, they could go to virginiabigfootcon.com.
Okay.
Again, bigfootcon.com. And also we have a Facebook event page as well. You can find the ECBRO Virginia Bigfoot Con or Annual Virginia Bigfoot Con. So check that out. If it does not say ECBRO, it's not us. So
okay. I was just going to mention I can talk to Daniel first. Are you putting on the conference yourself, or is it?
Yes, it's me and a couple of my team members. Yeah.
Okay. Is the turnout expected to be quite large?
Well, last year we had for our first one we had between a little over 300. Between both days we had over 200 ticket sales, not including the large amount that showed up. It was probably, I'm going to say, between both days, it was probably around, give or take, close to 400 people. I mean,
Okay.
that to us was pretty impressive for our first time.
Yeah, it was.
So,
It was.
Well,
yeah.
let me see. I can talk to Bill Braun and see if maybe he might want to attend and give a talk on the Whitehall Bigfoot case from the 70s, because he was the lead investigator on that, and he's an expert in that particular sighting.
What's his name again?
Bill Braun, Brann.
Oh, okay, because there was another gentleman who wrote a book. Him, the last name Goslin. No, no, not
Right.
Goslin.
Yes,
Um,
I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, because they're the ones that were going to come down and, yeah, I was going to originally get them, but I lost information to contact them. Because they had asked to come down. But right now, as of the lineup of speakers I have right now, I have to play everything by ear
Okay.
to see if I can fit anyone else in.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot we have to consider because right now we're working on funds and everything else, and definitely obtaining sponsors right now. So, but but yeah, we got the facility secure. It's just I know we're waiting on other funds to come in so we could get other things rolling. So, but yeah, definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, like I said, there's other things I have to look into right now too. So yeah, it's kind of a lot of stress trying to think about things. But
Yeah.
definitely gonna get through the holidays first. So
Yeah. That
yeah.
just a little shout out here to that Jeff Coker on the chat there. Some of your comments are not very nice. You might want to be careful watch what you say.
Oh, I haven't even been paying. I haven't even looking at the chat, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
He's made some offhand comments that are not very nice.
oh, okay. Huh.
Anyhow, my two cents.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate that. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Kevin. Really appreciate
Okay.
that, and a lot of your input and all that good stuff. So, but so till next time, ladies and gentlemen, and don't forget tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on the Southern Illinois Monster Hunters YouTube channel, 8
Super.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless everyone.
Take care. Have a good night.